Welcome to our series, This Old Tank. It's called This Old Tank because a lot of tanks today are old and they have outlived a normal life expectancy. So they're at risk of leaking, which is a very big concern regarding tanks. Because if a tank leaks, there could be remediation involved. Whoever owns the property owns that problem to do that. Today I'm specifically talking to you about tanks that have been abandoned in place. Meaning there was a tank that maybe they didn't want to have removed because it was going to disturb the grass, or it's by a deck or by a patio, and removing the tank would cause a disturbance, so they're going to fill it in place. So they're going to cut a hole, excavate the tank, cut it open, and they're going to fill it with an inert material. Okay, many tanks have actually had this performed. And nowadays, what you're going to be doing is you're going to want to buy a property where the current owner said, "Oh, I bought this house, and it had a tank that was previously filled in place, and that was good enough for me, so I want to sell it to you." And people call our office, and I said, "You need to know how the tank didn't leak. What documentation do you have that the tank didn't leak?" So they contact the owner, and the owner actually pulls out, they're very proud of this too, they get an approval sticker from the town and said, "Well, this was inspected. This certifies that the tank didn't leak." That's a misconception, because this approval sticker is for a tank we actually removed that did leak. And guess what? It was approved. They were both approved. So you're kind of at a crossroads. What does this approval mean? Well, let's say you just go down to the construction office of the town and say, "I have a sticker from you saying you approved this tank that was filled in place. Is the town certifying the tank didn't leak?" They're going to say, "Absolutely not. We're certifying, we're approving that they said they were going to fill a tank in place and they followed the code, and it was a construction code, and that's exactly what they did." And they said, "Well, did it leak? We don't know. We don't do that inspection." Who does that inspection? The company doing the work. How would we do it? If we were removing a tank, I would take soil samples underneath it to know if the tank leaked. If I was filling a tank in place, after we cleaned it, we would cut holes in the bottom of the tank, which are called coupons. They're like little triangles you cut, and I would take samples, and I would write a report saying we took samples, and the samples were non-detect or they're in compliance, and I'd give you a report. It'd be a boring report, but it would basically say in no uncertain words, the tank did not leak or did leak, okay? So getting these stickers that people show all the time really is meaningless. You cannot rely on that, because we remove a lot of tanks that have been previously filled in place that were approved by the town. Lo and behold, they leaked. They likely didn't leak after the tank was filled in place, but before the tank was filled in place, when there was oil in it, oil leaked out, and they never discovered that because they did not remove the tank. It's a little confusing. It's a lot of misconception out there. There's a leap of faith when you see these things. People make assumptions. Do not make assumptions. If you want advice, expert advice on tanks, feel free to give our office a call.